I always arrive at my lectures at least half an hour early, and I always plan the travel time at 50% more than the GPS. And I always print the text the day before. I know it sounds like a waste of time, certainly when I have already delivered my lectures and workshops countless times. But because of my experience, I know that there is always a chance of a traffic jam, accident, garbage truck that I'm stuck behind, renovation in the road, and the GPS didn't know about it earlier. And you never calculate the time it takes you to get out of the office, wait for the elevator, walk to your car as part of the travel time. And always the connection between the computer or the projector, sound, disk is missing some cable or some button. You need to call someone from the technology to check what is happening. And he is not the fastest moving man in the organization. It often happens that their printer has crashed, that they have no paper, that the paper got stuck. So luckily, I printed in advance. And maybe everything will go smoothly and I will arrive half an hour earlier, and then I will have time for small talk or network with the person who invited my lecture. The alternative, where I'm late because of traffic jam, and then I'm trying to plug in my computer and make sure that the sound works and the people are already sitting in their seats, and the embarrassment in front of the people who invited me that I didn't get a chance to exchange a word with them, it terrifies me. There is no doubt that proper time planning has helped me reach quite a few goals that I have set for myself in both of my personal and business life. Anyone who has been to my lectures knows that even planning my pregnancies and my maternity leave were part of a strategic planning of managing my career. Proper and effective time management is one of the most significant factors for you that will allow you to achieve your goals, because most of the time you know what you want to achieve, and even you know exactly what needs to be done to achieve it. Only you fail to motivate yourself to get started. In our life flow, if it's not mandatory, it does not get into schedule. But unfortunately, this is how most people do not achieve their goals. You are diagnosed whether you procrastinate or obsess, and you diagnose the reason why you are not managing your time well. The toolbox I will give you now will not only help you to achieve your actual goals, but you will also be able to choose and tailor the solutions to who you are and the reason why you personally are not managing your time properly. Remember, we said that the main reason for poor time management is expectation, the fear of failure. So in order to overcome this obstacle, you have two resources to draw confidence from: experience and self-belief. Let's say that you were given a task at work. If you have previous experience in performing the task, you will feel confident in your ability to perform it. But what happens when you are given a task that you have never done before and have no experience with? You will have to believe that you can do it. Your belief in your ability will make you experience the task, and the experience will contribute to your confidence later on. As your self-confidence grows, so will your self-esteem and your ability to experiment. Experience will increase confidence, which in turn contributes to self-belief, which in turn will increase the attempts that you make, and this in turn will increase confidence. Like a circle. We may not have previous experience in the specific task or area, but it is likely that we have some similar experience from the past from which we can draw confidence. For example, if we are asked to make a presentation at work and we have no confidence in our ability to stand in front of an audience, stage fear is one of the most common fears. Therefore, look for similar experience in your past. Maybe you attended a show in front of old school. Maybe you stood up at your father's 17th birthday and gave a speech. Always look for a similar experience from your past and use it for reinforcement. If you did it then, there is no reason why you should not succeed now. You may not be exactly experiencing a specific test at hand, but you have similar experience. A second way to increase our belief in ourselves is a support group. Many people around you will decrease your confidence and be sure to tell you why not. Why not now? Why it's not worth it? They will explain to you why it will not work, why it will not succeed, will not make profit. They will explain it to you as they explain it to themselves. Bob Meyer said, people who are not strong enough to make their dreams come true will always find a way to make you not believe in your dreams and make them come true. You need to gather around you people who believe in you, support you, understand you and your path to success. It is true that the strongest and best faith is yours in yourself, but sometimes we need a good word from someone besides us. When you feel like your self-confidence is low, go talk to someone who loves you, who knows how to give a good word and how to cheer you up and remind you what you're worth. And try to avoid being among people who criticize you. A third way to strengthen our belief in ourselves is inspiration. You may not have a personal experience in performing the current task, but there was someone who did it before you. Go get inspired by him. If possible, personally. And if not, learn about him and his path to success. Cinderella stories are always among our favorite success stories because when the road is difficult, we value success more. If the road is long, success is of higher prestige. If they succeeded, there is no reason why you should not. Use the 3 ways to increase your belief in yourself and your ability to succeed. This way, you will dare to experience more, and your self-confidence will increase. And it does not matter if the attempt to perform the task was successful or not. Every experience will increase our confidence. In the coaching processes I conduct with my trainees, pretty quickly I identify who knows how to deal with failure. How? Those who fear failure do not fail enough. People who failed already know that from failure we learn, overcome, and develop, and that every failure adds to our experience. Only people who have not failed enough do not know that they can rise from it and move forward. Many studies have repeatedly found that examining people's goals reveals the future. The things that we dream about, our destination, the places we want to be, and even the people we would like to spend time with are the ones who will most likely appear in our future. Will and faith make things come true. Not in a mystical way, but in action. We navigate our lives according to our desires. But the same is true in the opposite direction. If we believe that we will never get rich, that we will never be happy, that we will never have a good relationship, that there is no chance to succeed, we will predict a bleak future for ourselves. The prophecy will come true. If you feel that your hopes are not coming true, that your dreams are not coming true, check what is the real thing you long for. And more than that, ask yourself if you truly and sincerely believe that it will be so. If your faith is not strong enough, activate the circle of confidence that we talked about. Experience things that you will grow your confidence. The second main reason why we manage time incorrectly is value. The task we hate and the value obtained from them is relatively low. This type has a variety of effective solutions. Write it down. First solution is WIFM. WIFM stands for what's in it for me? What is the real reward from completing the task? Will I feel better? Satisfaction? Will I save money? Another solution, Protect yourself from distractions. Keep temptation out of range. Computer, phone, TV, and the biggest distraction, hunger and fatigue. Take care of your needs before they become too much to handle. Another possible solution, your imagination. Imagine what you want to achieve. Let's say you want to replace your car and postpone the task of selling the current car that you have or looking for the new car. Imagine yourself driving the new car. Imagine the smell and how clean and tidy it is. And then think of the contrary. Think of the car that you're driving in now, how unsafe it is, how uncomfortable it is, how old it is, and why was the main reason that you wanted to replace it in the first place. Another effective motive, reward your effort. Celebrate what you have already achieved. Do not always think what you still have to do, what remains, how many pounds I still have to lose, how many kilometers I still have to run. Celebrate and be happy with what is current, what is your result now. Celebrate it, just not celebrate it with a big meal. Here is a solution that works really well for me. There is a story about a Spanish captain, Herman Cortez, who arrived with his soldiers off coast of Mexico. The first thing he told his soldiers to do was to burn the ships that they arrived with before they go out to battle. And now they have to win the war because there is no way to retreat. So burn your ships. Cancel any other option. Take irreversible steps. Do not leave yourself a choice or a place to retreat to. Finally, a very effective solution is to use negative incentives. Punishments or sanctions, fines, interventions. Commit to someone, make a promise. A promise is harder to break. The third and last and very common reason why we manage our time incorrectly is timing. When will I get the reward for completing the task? In order to solve the timing issue, I will offer you a method that can be used, but so that you can use it effectively, I will first introduce you to a concept that I tend to use with my trainees. Are you a marathon runner or a sprinter? A marathon is long distance run. Whether you are running for a result or simply to run, the key to success is to run at a relatively steady pace, gently, over a long distance, running while listening to the body. A marathon runner is a person who by nature is a long distance runner. He is not afraid of long-term relationships, has patience for processes, and even prefer to engage in a project that are constantly evolving and over time. The marathon runner is the developer, thinker, in-depth researcher, patient. He uses trial and error to draw conclusions and move forward. He understands that businesses are not built in one day, relationships are not formed quickly, weight loss does not happen overnight, and what a pity that is. On the other hand, we have the sprinter. Sprint running is done at a fast pace. It is an intense and challenging run, performed at a maximum speed. A sprinter should have a high muscle mass, explosive power. A sprinter is a person who by nature runs short distance, but a high intensity. He is quick thinking, moves swiftly from idea to execution, has no patience for long process. He is practical, missionary. He has an explosive and overwhelming power. He conquers territories and missions. The advantage of the sprinter is in performance. He is quick thinking and even faster in execution. He understands that You have to try and experiment. For the sprinter, learning will be done while on the move. Therefore, the sprinter performs only when the future becomes present, when the task becomes urgent, when a fire has to be put out. I choose to treat those two types as the two ends of a scale. We are both. We are all a bit a marathon runner and, in some cases, a sprinter. So the method to deal with the reason for timing would be to divide the marathon into sprints, dividing a large project into small tasks, and rest easy between sprints in order to gather strength for the next time the power erupts. Suppose your goal is weight loss. You want to lose 10 pounds. For a sprinter, 10 pounds are too big a goal and too far away. He needs small goals at set times. For example, to lose a pound a week. In contrast, the short deadline will stress the marathon runner, who will prefer the goal of losing 10 pounds this year. Great revolutions are done in small steps. So take the big goal and break it down to small components. In the next step, we will do just that. Take our two important goals and develop a work plan that will help us to fulfill them. In three-dimensional model, the content dimension, the time dimension, and the money dimension. So you can complete at least two important goals. Continue to fulfill your dreams with the help of an effective time planning.